Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar today. So we are going to talk about what you should do like just 7 days before the MC10. First of all, are you guys all signed up for the MC10 this year? You can type one in the chat if you have already signed up for the MC10 this year. Yeah, and also because I know we have a lot of students here in the webinar today. I'm just going to speak in English, but if you don't understand this, you can also ask us any questions after the webinar. Okay, great. Yeah, so a lot of you guys have signed up for the MC10. So who's excited about MC10? You can type also like say type 2 in the chat if you are excited about MC10. I mean, it's once a year, right? So you should be excited about the MC10 here. None of you guys? Okay. All right, yeah, but it's okay. So let's just wait for another 10 or 20 seconds. I see more people are joining us in the webinar today. So yeah, let me just start in about 20 seconds. Okay, and also I'm going to talk about a lot of things in today's webinar. So I'm going to talk about like first of all the logistics about the exam, and also I will talk about some other things as well. So make sure you stay until the end to know everything you need to know about the MC10 this year. Okay, all right. So I think we can get started now since we have a lot of you guys here in the Zoom meeting already. Okay, so for today's webinar, we are going to talk about just what you should do before the exam, especially 7 days before the exam. Okay, so let me first do a introduction. All right, yeah, so my name is Dennis. I graduated from Duke University with a degree in quantitative finance. And also I have been in the States for about 10 years already, and also spent 8 years in the States. And also I got all perfect scores on like standardized test math section, and also have taught math competition courses at the academy. So do you guys take a class with me? Are you guys taking MC10 classes with me this semester or this year? Because I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat as well. Yeah, so I see a lot of my students here in the chat room already. Okay, yeah, so this will be just some of like something about myself. And also in today's webinar, we are going to just mainly talk about the exam guidelines and also some of the analysis in terms of the exam structure. I'm not going to talk about any specific say problems or any specific topics because we don't want to like say review any problems about the test. So please also just don't ask anything about the test, like the problems in terms of the problem for this year. And also there will be a 24-hour post-exam silent period, which means you are not allowed to discuss any problems you have seen on the MC10. Violation could cause the, like say your scores got like just, yeah, they will just cancel the score if they find out any violation. So please don't discuss any of the questions either on the internet or you can discuss with your friends. Those are not allowed, okay? All right, so today I'm going to just answer to those common questions I got. The first one will be what's going to be the process for the in-person exams in case if you haven't taken the in-person exam just last year. And also we are going to talk about just say that if you are unsure about the question, should you just like go on and leave the question blank or you want to make a guess. I will also talk about this kind of the strategy. And also I will talk about like are any problems in 10A or 10B are going to be the same or just or like how are they related with each other? And lastly, how can I balance my mindset between the two exams? Okay. All right. So now let's take a look on the first part. So for the first part here, I'm just going to talk about the exam instructions. So first, because we are taking the MC10A and B, just 10A will be next week. All right. So this will be the specific exam times set by the MAA. So every test centers will need to take the test on the same date. But we may have different testing time, but the date will be the same. And then there will be also an authorized proctor at the time to proctor the entire exam. And also, yeah, this will be the exam date here. And as for the academy, we offer the MC10 this year at this 4 locations. All right, so you may take a screenshot or you can also check on the registration on the website to see all this date and time for the MC10A and also the MC10B. And also 3 days before the exam, you will receive another confirmation email from us indicating the date and time of your registered exams. Okay, so you can see we have just two different time options for the test as well. Okay, and then let's talk about just the testing location. So you can see here for each city, we all got one location except for Belleville campus because we have more sign up for the Belleville campus. But you will receive the confirmation 3 days before the test on which location you got for the in-person exams. So please just watch out for the emails 3 days before the actual exam. Okay, so we will send out the detailed instructions on, like, for example, how you can get there, how to take the test, and also the other instructions in email. Okay. And then also you will receive the MAA registration and also the link to invite you to just register in the website. So this email will be sent from us already, so you should have already received the email. So once your child completes the registration, their name will be just like appeared in our system. So after approval, the registration process will be finalized. If you have already register for only one of the A or B exams, then you should also complete the registration form for that specific exam. And also, if you have registered for both 10A and 10B, you need to fill out two separate forms because they are two separate exams. So if you have signed up for both 10A and 10B, there should be two forms that you should complete like for the registration. Okay. Yeah, so this will be how the registration page looks like. So you need to fill out your information, like your email address, your, like, say, the password. This will be used for, like, say, login. So for the email address, just choose the one that you use most often will be good. And for the first name and the last name, make sure you also filled in with your legal name, so that, like, the name will just appear on any certificate or just on the website if you got any awards. So make sure you put down your legal name, and also make sure you choose the I consent before you move on and complete the registration. Okay, all right, so this will be just how the page looks like here. And then in terms of what you should bring on the exam dates, the first one will be just some of the things you can write like for the exam, right? So, like, say you can bring your number 2 pencil, your eraser, and also, like, say, compass, or, like, say, any rulers you have. We will also have some extra pencils and erasers at different test locations, but please just also, you can bring your own if you like any, like, say, pencils you have. Also, you can bring your ID if your school has, if you have a school ID or just any form of identification. That's going to help us to just make the just the sign up process a lot faster. But if you don't have your ID, that's also fine. You can just bring any confirmation that can show that you actually signed up for the exam will be good. So any confirmation or ID will be good at, like, doing the signing process. Okay. And also this will be how the just the like, say, the, like, when you fill in the answers, this will be how that sheet is going to look like. So when you try to fill in this bubbles, make sure you fill in the entire bubble. All right, so this will be some of the markings here on the answer sheet as well. So make sure you mark on the marbles properly. And this will be some of the examples of the improper marks, but I'm sure that you guys have taken some exams before. So just make sure that you like bubble the entire just grid completely. Okay. All right. Yeah. So this will be just some things to know about the exams. And then lastly here, to know what you do in the entire process. So before you take the test, make sure you plan to arrive early for check-ins at the test center, because we have the procedures to check in by confirming that you are the actual person. So you can bring your ID or just bring your confirmation message, confirmation email that we can know is you taking the test will be fine. So you need to arrive at the location 30 minutes before the exam, okay, in order to just check in properly and just maybe sit in the test locations on time. Okay, and also make sure you form an orderly queue at the check-in point for the check-in process. All right, and then when you take the exam, you will have the assigned seat based on the seat number, which will be also assigned at the time of check-in. And the proctor will announce the exam rules, and also just to just talk about the exam instructions. And then once the exam begins, make sure you you have 75 minutes to work on the exam, and we will also send out some reminders like just in the room to tell you guys how much time you have left. And then lastly, this will be very important. Do not take any scratch paper, the test paper, or just any answer sheet behind after the exam. We will also take all these papers after the test, so you don't have the chance to really take anything out. Okay, so at the end of the exam, when the exam is over, you just need to exit the room in an orderly manner under the guidelines of our proctors and also our staff at that location. Okay, so far, do we have any questions about what you should expect on the exam date, and also what you bring on the exam date? Just any questions about the logistics so far? Yeah, I will also answer any questions in the QA sessions, but I just want to check if we have any questions so far. Okay, all right. So if we are good so far, then now let's take a look just the AMC 10 exam strategies. I'm sure that this will be why you are here for, right? You want to hear something you can do on the exam to maybe get more questions right, and just to see how you can do if you have some questions that you just don't know about. Okay, so let's now take a look on the exam strategies. And by the way, am I laggy? Can you guys still hear me or see me? Because I think my cam is frozen already. Okay, I think now it's good. All right. So let's now take a look on the exam strategies. Okay, so first thing is that you want to be very clear about your goals and your abilities, because it's a math competition, it's a contest, right? So some of the problems are meant to be very challenging, and actually let's say the last 5 problems, only maybe 2% of the entire, let's say, students taking the test can actually get this one right. So you should know your goals before the test. So through the mock exams we offer at the Academy, I'm sure that you already have a very clear understanding of which problems you're supposed to get right, and maybe some of the problems you should just skip on the exam date. So this will be something to be clear about before the test. And then you want to allocate your time wisely according to your goals. So based on the historical accuracy rate and also the difficulty of the problems, usually the first 10 problems will be a lot easier. So you should be able to get the easy problems right. And then we also have the medium problems, which will be the problems from 11 to 15. And then we also have the hard questions from problem 16 to 20. And then we also have the extremely hard problems for the last 5 problems. Okay, this will be kind of the distribution on the difficulties. And then you can estimate your score while working through the questions. This will be also a very good tip, because for the AME qualification, usually you just need to get about, like, say, 95 to have AME qualification. So you can also estimate your score as you work through all the questions to know how many problems you should get right next, and to have a better way of using your time. Okay, so this will be just the stats from the past AMC 10 exams. So you can see here for the previous 2 years, the AME qualification is usually about, like, say, 96 or 93. This will be after they adjust the qualification percentage. So you can see last year we have about 8% of students who got AME qualification from MC10A and MC10B. So the AME floor is usually around 95 points. So this will be also kind of our estimate on the AME qualification this year. And then we also have, like, say, the other awards like distinction and also distinguished honor roll. There's different awards and also the cutoff. Yeah, so you can estimate your score based on the problems you can get right and also your goal, right? So for the achievement road, like, this will be 90 points to get achievement road, and then for the AME floor, around 96 points will be a safe bet. And also we have the distinction, which was called the honor roll, like, say, I think 4 or 5 years before. And also we have the distinguished honor roll, which was the 1% on the MC10 exams. So say if you want to get to achievement road, then how many problems do you have to get right? So you can see here, if you want to get to 91.5 points on the exam, you need to get 12 problems correct, and then also leave all the other questions blank. This will be actually quite challenging, because this means that you answered all the questions you know you can get right. And then for all the other questions, you know you're not going to try them at all, and you just leave them as blank. But you can also do something like this. So you can answer, like, say, 14 problems correct, and then you have 4 problems that you leave as blank, but also you attempted 7 questions and just got them all wrong. Even in that case, you can still get to 90 points. Okay, so this means that if you try to get to the achievement row, the safe bet will be to get about, like, say, 12 questions correct. Or, like, say, in that case, you can feel free to also attempt the other problems if you want. But if you want to get to achievement road, getting 12 problems correct will be a pretty good way to get achievement road. Okay, and what about AMC floor? So I'm sure that you guys all want to get to AMC qualification from this year's exam. So if we set the goal to be around 96 points, then usually if you can get about, like, say, 14 or 15 problems right, you can get to AMC qualification. And this will be also the breakdown on how you can get the 96 from the exam. So you can see here, we still have some rooms for mistakes, right? If you get, like, say, 3 questions wrong, 6 questions wrong, you can still get AMC qualification. The most important thing will be to get this number of questions correct. Okay, and then if we talk about just the other awards like distinction, of course, you need to have more problems that you can answer correctly. And not to mention, for the distinguished honor roll, you should already got like 20 questions correct. So you can see here, the higher you climbed, like the higher the score is, the harder it's going to get, because you need to have more problems to be answered correctly. Okay, so now you will really need to allocate your time wisely according to your goal. Because, for example, for that, let's say the 15 problems, right? If you want to get to AMC floor, you want to get 15 problems correct. Do you think this will be the first 15 problems that you got correct, or the last 15 problems? What do you guys think? You want to get the first 15 problems correct, or the last 15 problems correct? Let me know your thoughts. The first, obviously, that's right. Yeah. So if you want to get 15 problems correct, I'm sure that it's going to be the first 15 problems, because they are a lot easier than the last 15 problems, right? So you should allocate your time wisely so that you have enough time to work on the problems that you know you are going to get right. Okay. So here will be some of our, like, say, examples of the easy problems and also some harder problems. So from problem 1 to problem 10, you should expect problems like this. So for example, you have some ratio problems, you have like some number theory problems. So for the easy problems here, usually they only test on one concept or one topic. It's not very common to have like some interdiscipline or like just any multiple concepts in one problem. There would be just only one single concept that you just apply and then solve the problem. So this will be how the easy problems are like. And once you get to problem 11 to problem 15, usually there will only be, like, say, one concept tested on the problem, but also the concept will be either a little bit harder, or you will need to also expect to have, like, say, 2 or 3 concepts like in the problem here. And then for the hard problem, it's already getting just a lot harder already, right? So this will be a counting problem that I think we actually covered in the MC10 camp, just like recently here. So this will be some of the hard problems that are going to like. The problems are getting harder and the concepts are also getting harder. And then finally, you have the extremely hard problems, which is usually made for those who can get to distinguished honor roll or just like AMC qualification at least. So if you think that you don't have enough time, you can actually just give up on the last 5 problems. The reason is because if you don't answer a question, if you don't attempt at all, you can still get 1.5 points if you leave the problem blank. All right, so if you don't have enough time, it's okay. You can just give up on the last 5 problems and still get some points. All right, so it's totally fine that you skip the harder problems. Okay, so this will be my tips in terms of the time allocation. So for the 10 problems, I'm sure that we all know that we want to try our best to get the first 10 problems correct, because the more problems you can get right at the beginning, that means the fewer problems you need to get correct in the second half, right? So make sure you tried all the first 10 problems, but don't spend too much time. So usually, like, say, 2 minutes per question and about 20 minutes or 25 minutes on the first 10 problems will be reasonable. But also, I'm sure that there will be some problems you find super hard. That's also fine. So if you find any problems that are super hard, remember, this will be the time on average, because I'm sure that for the first problem, you may not need to take 2 minutes, right? So on average, about 2 minutes per question will be good. And then for the medium problem, the problem 11 to problem 15, usually about 4 minutes per question will be reasonable. So this will be another 20 minutes to look at the 5 problems. And in the best scenario, you can already get 15 problems correct, right? It's just from the first 15 problems. This will be perfect. That means for the second half, you don't have to really have any stress to answer those questions. But we know that it happens a lot, right? There might be, like, say, 2 or 3 problems you didn't get right in the first 15 problems. That's not the end of the world. You can still get those problems right from the question 16 to question 20. So for those problems, you need to quickly scan through the problems and see if there are any questions there that you are more, like, say, familiar with, or you are more confident with. Because say that if you are really good at, say, algebra, then if you see an algebra problem, that could be your favorite, right? You can actually try the problem and get the problem right. So I think in 2021, there was the question 20 on quadratic equation, which will be super easy if you know quadratic equation. That's it. So you can quickly scan through the problems and see which problem you are really good at and just try it on that problem and work on them and aim to get the question right. And for the problems that you are not confident with, just skip the problems, or you can try this just if you have time. Okay, and for the question 20 to question 25, just again, quickly scan through the problem. You still want to see how the problems are like, but you should only like attempt the problems if you feel that you are very confident about the problems. Okay, any questions on this part? Are we all good on this part here? Okay, all right, yeah, so this will be just some of the tips you can have here. All right, and then let's now take a look on the just the other things here. So let's talk about be clear about your goals and also your abilities. So for the achievement road case here, right? This will be ideal for someone who first participated in the MC10. So if this will be the first time you're taking the MC10, then achievement road could be a reasonable goal that you can set for yourself. Because as we said from the breakdown of the problems, if you can get, like, say, 12 problems right, you can already get achievement road. So this could be a more reasonable goal if you first participated in the MC10, or if you want to, like, say, just like try this after you learn some of the concepts. So you should be able to handle the first 10 questions well, but some of the questions could be challenging. That's totally fine. And also, if you got a mock exam scores from about 70 to 80, this could also be a reasonable goal you can set for yourself to get achievement road. And also, never undergone any symmetric training and not very familiar with the topics. If you have never done this, then maybe this could be also the goal you can set for yourself. All right, and also for those who like have already like, say, yeah, so if you roughly fit this descriptions, then your target should be set to AMC qualification or even distinction. So if you have taken the MC10 before, or if you have already achieved achievement road just in the previous exams, or you'll be able to handle the first 10 questions well, and also got a mock exam from about 90 to 115, then this will be a reasonable goal for you guys. So if you can set your goals to AMC qualification. Okay, and also lastly, for the DHR case, you should only aim for distinguished on the road if you have already a very strong competition background and you have already trained maybe for years. This will be like very challenging because only the top 1% like managed to get a distinguished on the road, so it's going to be quite challenging. And also you need to have the capability of to complete around 25 questions. So only if you are capable of doing so, you can aim for the distinguished on the road. Okay, yeah, so this will be some of the goals here, and also this will be our analysis. So from the last mock exam, we got asked these questions a lot, like saying that if I got some scores from the last October mock exam, where should I set my goal? So first thing is that the last mock exam is meant to be quite challenging because before the test, right? You want to like more challenge yourself rather than just like try to take an easy test and get a high score. So the previous exam is actually harder than the MC10, the actual MC10 last year. especially for the first 15 problems. I remember there are 3 problems that are quite challenging in terms of their like say positions on the test. So if you didn't get a very good score, it's okay. Just study those problems well, and you can still get ready for the MC10. But just based on the distribution, the average score from the last mock exam is about 75 points. The total will be 150. And then for the A floor, we got 40 students among 226 students who got above 92 points. On ME floor, congrats if you got above 92 here. And also for the distinguished honor roll, we also got 12 students who got above 108. Okay, yeah. So this will be just a breakdown here for the mock exam. And now let's talk about the relationship between 10A and 10B. First of all, what do you guys think about this question here? Do you think there is any relationship between 10A and 10B? Yes or no? Is there any relationship? Okay, yeah, so I think that we all believe there's kind of no, or like say just last relationship between 10A and 10B, right? But actually here, we have some findings about the 2 exams. So first of all, that's right. So I think Olivia says that the same difficulty. That's right. So the 10A and 10B are supposed to have the same difficulty because they should be the same test, right? So they should have the same difficulty, but just with different problems. So first of all, the difficulty levels are very similar for the 2 exams. But here will be the relationship. The high frequency topics that appear in MC10A are very likely to be tested in MC10B as well. So these topics should still be emphasized. Because, for example, if you see from the 10A topics, like they tested on the quadratic functions maybe twice or 3 times, then this will be the hint that you want to also study the quadratic functions a little bit as well, just to review the core concepts. And also, the topics that have appeared very frequently in the past 5 years, but were not present in MC10A are also very likely to be tested in the MC10B. So for those like popular topics that are actually not in the MC10A, that means they are more likely to appear in MC10B. Okay, so actually there is a very strong relationship between MC10A and also MC10B. Okay, so that being said, after the MC10A, if you still plan to take the MC10B, or if you just have signed up for the MC10B, it's very important that you study the MC10A exam before you take the MC10B, because you can actually have some hints on the topics that might appear on the MC10B. So here will be the post-exam follow-up plans from Think Academy. So first of all, here we will host another webinar just right after the MC10A on November the 8th, right? So only 2 days after the test, we are going to have this another webinar just after we passed the silence period. We are going to talk about the MC10A. So in that webinar, we are going to talk about just the analysis on the MC10A problems and also see what topics might appear on the MC10B. So make sure you check out this webinar after the MC10A. And also there will be another MC10 post-exams analysis webinar on the 15th. So after the MC10B, we are also going to have another score analysis and also the follow-up plans after the MC10B. So after the 2 exams, we are going to have this analysis webinar. And then the MC10 score release date is expected to be around mid-December. Like from the last year, I think last year was mid-December. So this will be the expectation on the score release date. Okay, yeah, so this will be the webinar that I strongly encourage you guys to attend after you take MC10A. So no matter if you have taken the MC10A or not, if you plan to take MC10B, this will be the webinar that you want to check out just before the MC10B. Okay, so if you have your phone, you can just scan the QR code and sign up for the MC10B, like MC10A webinar, so that you can receive a reminder about this webinar and you are not going to miss this event. Okay. If you don't have your phone, or if you are looking at this like webinar from your phone, it's okay. We are also going to send out the link to sign up this webinar in our group chat. Okay, so I will stay here for about 30 seconds and make sure that we all sign up for this post-exam analysis webinar after the MC10A. Okay, yeah, so this will be the very important webinar to attend if you want to take MC10B. So don't forget to sign up for this webinar. Okay, yeah, I think also, so for now, if you have any questions about like say the test or everything we covered in the webinar, you can also just let me know in the chat. Okay, all right, so have we all signed up for this webinar? You can type 1 in the chat if you have signed up for this webinar. Yeah, make sure you attend this one here if you plan to take MC10B. Okay, so we are going to talk about a lot of good things in this webinar. Okay, great. All right, thanks. All right, so if we have signed up for this webinar, then that's actually going to be it about this webinar here. So for any questions related to taking the MC10A or B, you can add our just middle school math competition advisor to get any new updates or follow-ups. If you have any questions about taking the exam, about the instruction, you can add him on WeChat and ask him any questions about the MC10A or B. Or if you have any questions right now, you can also just ask me in the group in the chat so that we can also have any, like say, yeah, we can have the QA session right now. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. And also make sure you add advisor if you haven't, like say, added him already. What difficulty level of MC10 last 5 questions equal to MC12? So in terms of the MC12, I would say roughly about the last 7 or 8 questions, because MC12 tends to be harder than the MC10. So usually, like say, if there will be one problem that appears in both MC10 and MC12, so the 20, like say the 21st question on MC10 could be the 18th or 19th questions on the MC12. So this will be kind of the relationship between the two tests. How can we confirm if we have already signed up? So first of all, if you have already signed up, I believe there will be one confirmation. Or if you are not sure about, you can add our advisor, so we can also like double check, or we can so you can just add him here and see if you have already signed up. Can you give a list of topics that are frequently tested in last 5 years? I think we have that topics. I need to double check. But definitely just in that webinar, we are going to talk about this frequently tested topics. I'm going to ask to see if we have this topic list already. What time should we arrive at the Academy Test Center? That's a good question. So you should plan to arrive 30 minutes before the exam starts. So let me go back to the instruction here. It will be this one. Yeah, so plan to arrive 30 minutes before the test starts so that you have time to check in and just get into the test location. Will we post MC10A questions before November 15th? Yes, so we are going to release the answers and questions just 2 days after the MC10A, because after the silence period, we can then discuss the exam questions. So yeah, we will release our own solutions and answers after the MC10A, 2 days after the MC10A. What should we bring to the test center? Yeah, so you should bring the number 2 pencil. It's very important because to just fill in the bubbles in the answer sheet, you need to have a number 2 pencil. So make sure you bring the number 2 pencil and eraser, and also compass and rulers. Definitely you are going to need those. Yeah, so bring those things here with you. If you ever forget about this, we will have some extras in the test location, but just for be sure you can just bring your own. And also, if you have any IDs, you can then just also bring your IDs like to this no protractors. That's right. So you can also bring your IDs with you. If you don't have your ID, that's okay. You can just bring your confirmation message or your confirmation email, just something that we can check you are the person to take the exam. Will be good. Yeah, so this will be something to bring on the exam date. Okay, yeah, thanks. Do we have any other questions about just like say the exam logistics, and any questions about the MC10A, MC10B? Enrolled in MC12A and MC10B should prepare MC12 or only prepare for MC10B before November 8th. So I think that depends on what grade level you are in. So if you are already, like say grade 10, then I would just recommend you prepare for the MC12 because the MC10 topics are also covered in MC12. So if you just review the topics from the MC12, you are also studying for the MC10. Yeah, but if you are just like say try to get MC12 and you don't plan to get any like say extra topics in MC12, right? You can just study for the MC10. Yeah, depending on what you are at right now. So like if you have learned all this MC12 and you're actually ready for MC12, you can then just study for the MC12 directly. For the paper test, is there any answer sheet that all students write the steps or answers? Oh yeah, so there will be a scratch paper provided. So we will prepare the scratch paper and you can write your solutions. But just to submit, you will need to fill in this bubble sheets to just submit. So this will be used to scan your answer sheet and then just to have your answers. Yeah, so this will be the things that you actually write your answers. But we will also have a scratch paper that you can write down the steps and the solutions. What can parents do if their kids get nervous when taking exam? So first of all, parents are not allowed in the test location, but we, the proctor and the staff will just like oversee how the kids are doing. If like say some kids are really nervous, we will try to first calm him or her down to see if that helps. If not, we will also talk with the parents about that to see how we can deal with that special case. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So we will, the staff will also be there. So we will be helping the kids and support the kids throughout the exam. So you shouldn't be worried too much about that. Yes, that's right. So you don't need to bring your scratch paper. So we will prepare enough scratch paper for all of us. Okay. So you don't have to bring any scratch paper. Just bring some extra pencils, erasers, and just also some any other things. Because we are just afraid that we may run out of the pencils if everyone just forgets about the pencils. So you can bring your own. But for the scratch paper, we will have enough for everyone. Okay, yeah, so any other questions about the exam and the test? So just another reminder for those who joined late. So we will send out the MAA just approval invitation. So make sure you have already done this steps. Okay, so there will be a pre-exam registration. So you see, if you haven't done so, you can check your email address to see if you have already registered for the test. Any suggestions to prepare for the MC12? Just like any math competitions, you will need to first like say study all the core concepts, right? So if you haven't studied the core concepts, then of course you need to study the core concepts first, like trigonometry, logarithms, and all these topics. And then once you are done with the concepts, you can then just take a look on the problem types and study the specific type of the questions. That's going to be the way of like just study for the MC12. So the logic will be the same here, but like it will just be the different topics. Okay, yeah, hope that helps. Yeah, so why do we need just a compass? First of all, there will be geometry questions on the exam, right? So if you have a compass, that's going to make drawing the circles much helpful. So you can just draw a circle, a nice circle that you can look at. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Any suggestions on how to prepare for MC10 in the last week? Oh yeah. So to study for the MC10, especially when you have only 7 days left, I recommend that you first review all the past mistakes because I'm sure that throughout the preparation you have done a lot of practice already, and there will be also tons of mistakes you made in the process. So now will be a perfect time that you go over all the past mistakes and make sure you understand why you made the mistakes before and why like this answer choice is correct, and make sure you also know the concepts, topics behind those problems. So this will be the first thing I would recommend we doing here. And also if you like if you have reviewed all the mistakes, you can also take some like say practice problems just maybe every day, like just it doesn't have to be a lot, you can just be like 1 or 2 problems. We will also have some preparation in the WeChat group as well, but just like 1 or 2 problems for the MC10 real problems will be helpful. So you can also study the real problems from the past MC10 paper will be good. Okay, and are protractors allowed? No, so because you are not allowed to measure the angles directly, so that's not allowed. And we will also not permit that things in the test. Are triangular rulers allowed? I think only the standard ruler. I think MA doesn't specify that. I can double check, but I think you can bring just the standard straight ruler, but I'm not sure about the triangular ones. I think it's not allowed. They were allowed. Okay, yeah, so good to know. I'm not sure about that policy, but I'm sure that you can bring a straight ruler. But for the triangular ones, I need to double check. That's a good question though. Yeah, but I would recommend we just bring a straight ruler if that helps. But yeah, I got it. If you want to like draw a 45 degrees angle, that could be better. Okay. Yeah. Do we have any other questions? Just let me know if you have any other questions. And also don't forget to add our middle school competition advisor if you have any follow-up questions about just the test or just about any stuff. Okay, all right, great. Yeah, so I think that should be all for this webinar for today. So make sure we know all the logistics about the test, and also just try your best on the test, and also good luck on the MC10 this year. If you want to just study, make sure you focus on your past mistakes in this last 7 days. All right, so good luck on your preparation and also on the exams, and I hope that we can all get AMC qualification this year. All right, bye guys, bye.